What up, cappers, gamblers, punters, hustlers, low baggers? Happy Thursday, July 29th to all of you. Thank you for watching Betting with the Bag right here on Pub Sports Radio. Middling, irritating day yesterday. First, I didn't pull the trigger on the Reds yesterday, and we talked it all out. I had some fear that when the show was over, there was 54% of the cash on the Cubs. I felt like that I expected that to be sort of sharp money because I knew the public was going to be all over the Reds. By the end of the day, there was 80% of the cash on the Reds. I'm not stepping on the throat of sellers like the Pirates and the Cubs. Another mistake that I tend to make when we found out who the Pittsburgh Pirate pitcher was going to be or who we expected it to be at the very end of the show, but I don't know if it was laziness or what, but I should have worked harder after the show on that game and then faded the Pirates. And the Cubs are in an interesting situation today where I'm a little concerned about fading them with Eric Mills at home and his good numbers against the Reds and his splits at home. He's got like a 3 ERA compared to a 5.5 on the road. So I'm pretty hesitant today. Another very interesting thing is that I had 4 looks that before I broke down all the stats are like, I think these are angles that I want to attack. And all 4 of those market moves went against me. So there's only one trigger I pulled. That's Blue Jays first 5 right now. Very frustrating that the Diamondbacks and Orioles lose first 5 and then win outright. I end up 4-4, but it was a pretty VIG-filled card yesterday. So I went 4-4, but that's down 0.65 units. We'll go over all of that right now. I'm a little frustrated, but I'm very happy to be here and break down this 12-game card. We have a double dip. We're not entirely sure who the pitchers are going to be in the double dip. There's some big names that could be on the bump. We're going to break down all of that. My producer on the 1s and 2s, Jose's winning streak, came to an end. He might need a pep talk. I believe I'm probably the one to look him in the eyes and give him that pep talk. We got Sharpie making a special guest appearance on the show today. He wants redemption. He's not had a great week on the show, but a week does not a season make, and he's had a great season on the show. Thank you guys all so much for joining me. It is great to see all of you. Sammy Culmer in the house. Sammy Culmer on Yankees first 5, Brewers first 5 -0.5. Shocking. Why is that first 5 under gone up? Chad Kuhl at home. It's such a nice pitching matchup against. So there's market moves that have surprised me, and we'll go through all of them. Raymond Reddington in the house. Play day. Reds money line -130. Raymond, you're stepping on the throat of a wounded team that's selling right now, and it's working. And I'm still afraid to do it. And it's irritating. And there's Henry Dice saying, Raymond, Reds money line now -118. There's market. There's so many moving parts to this 12-game card. I cherish the opportunity to break it down with you. All right. Luke Murphy in the house says, it's the wind blowing in at Wrigley. I can tell you that I didn't think that. Let me just double check. I think it's because Mills is a good home pitcher. But it's blowing in heavy, 15 mile per hour in. I didn't pick that up. All right. Luke Murphy says not loving this card. They might just be a player prop day for me. I love this card. I love when there's all these moving parts. I think that if we work together and deep dive into these games, we will take care of it. Slad says, can you yell at Sharpie the same way you yell at Jose? Come on. Look. Something happens to a man as they age. And they get to a point where they won't allow somebody to scream in your face. And I know my relationship with Jose will be a long one. I'm going to walk him down the aisle when he gets married. I'm going to play a huge part in his life. He's going to look after me when I'm, I would say in dementia, but it'll probably just be a booze-filled, I don't know, ditch party that I'll be in my older years. And I know he will look after me. Sharpie's the kind of man you don't yell in his face. And why would I? Just because he's lost a couple games in a row, he's had a great season. But Jose will get to that point. He will get to that point. We'll watch him mature. And, if he shaves his mustache, we'll never see him again. He'll be fired, and it won't matter anyways. Turnsy here, Rusty Cunts play today. Jays team total over 2.5 first 5. So that is the only move I have made. I got minus 105 on the Jays first 5. I feel like that's a pretty nice number to get. And I'm looking forward to break that game down. There we go. Ross Pitt's ready to get to work. Brian Watson, Mally Mal, Nutflush Allen, an easy casher for Nutflush on the Dodgers run line yesterday. God, he's good. He's good. And he's our resident San Francisco Giant expert. And when he fades the Giants, his ROI is extremely – in all Giants games, his ROI is really high. We cashed that first 4.5 minus a half at minus 120 very easily. All right, we got a lot of work to do. Picasso the Prophet up in here. Nice. 24K day yesterday. God damn. All right, Gerardo Hernandez ready to go. There's Puzzler in the house. Joshua Kia Kanlaya, Dommy Gun Ricci, Marlon Z, Matty Ice, Crystal Warren, Platinum Paul. All right, Walla Walla Dose. We're looking good. The team's ready to get to work. Michael Ervalina in the house. Von Polo's wife, Key, was doing the work yesterday in the chat, capping on his behalf. You are a lucky man, Von Polo. She's an incredible woman. Razor Sharp Picks in the house. Razor Sharp Picks ready to go. I had the pleasure of being on his horse racing show yesterday, and even that didn't turn out too well for me. I wish I could just get right back at the horses right now. All right, we've got tons of work to do. Focus on your bets. Corey Simmons in the house. Real Deal Prime. Chris Will. Rob Free. Clint Starr, the diehard MMA podcast, ready to eat. Okay, Robert Allen, Anthony Witherspoon, Creo. All right, it's time to get to work. Nigel Lee, thank you for joining us. Cheshire Cat, TC, Ick Schnizzle, Ohio's finest home and locked in, ready to catch the whole show. Let's get to work. Okay, thank you guys all so much for joining us. Carlos Luters, Mark Schillingberg, big day yesterday, plus 10 units. Oh, nice job, Mark. Nice job. It really upset me, because I thought we had a real nice, clean look at this card yesterday. I thought we broke it down really well, and we were right in more spots than we were wrong. It's very, very, very upsetting. Ron Crawford, very tough loss on the spreadsheet play today. That was a 5-game winning streak it was on. Okay, let's get to work. Kyle Wright ready to go. Let's go right now. So, quick review of yesterday. Cards first 5 minus 120 was terrible. Houston, Seattle, first 5 under 4.5. Was fortunate to cash that. There was 2 more runs in the 6th inning. They ended the first 5 at 4. Oakland, San Diego, first 5 under 4.5. I lost on that on Tuesday and Wednesday. Orioles, first 5 was a loser, although they cashed the full game. Mets, first 5 was a winner. I'm telling you, these fireball strikeout pitchers, when they come up to the show and they start thinking more maturely. They don't need the strikeouts. They just need to get outs. And Miguel's the real deal. A Diamondbacks first 5, a very upsetting loss. A Dodgers first 4.5 minus a half at minus 120. And the double dip in that Jays Red Sox game. We played that so well. We didn't take that first 5 over because that 8.5 full game was moving down. And I had cold feet the day before when these two pitchers were matching up. I could have backed Rob Ray like Rusty Kuntz did with his Rusty Kuntz play of the day. I didn't do that, but I stayed off of losing money on the over. And then I knew if the Jays won game 1, we were going to go right back to Houck in game 2 and catch that. So game 2, Red Sox minus 130. All right, let's get to work right now. Soupy Panties ready to go. CT Bays says, Phillies as a dog seems like a gift on the board. Turnout with COVID-19. 3 other players in no lineup yet. I've heard that 12 players have COVID on the Nats. I don't even know if this game goes, if the double dip goes. I don't know what the hell they're going to do, but certainly they seem vulnerable. And we start right there. So let's get to work right now. 12:05 p.m. Eastern, game 1. Washington Nationals 46-54, 19-29 on the road at the Philadelphia Phillies, 50-50, 30-20 at home. We're at Citizens Bank Park, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Akbar Salov says, my life instantly became better when I gave up first 5 unders and first 5 money lines. Interesting. Do what's working. Okay. And do we have Taint? Taint is in. Jesus, Taint is in. Brew Crew full game run line. Taint is in. Brew Crew full game run line. I'm going to copy and paste that and make sure that that's set up and ready to break down when we get to that game. Brew Crew run line at minus 115. Taint play of the day is in. Brew Crew run line. The market moves in that game are tricky and difficult to figure out. I'm looking forward to figure it out. Kenny V says this game is already off my book site. We're talking about this double dip. I have no idea what the hell's going on. We're less than an hour away from first pitch. We've heard that 12 different Nats are on the COVID list. We have no market, no line whatsoever. So, look, this game's popping off in less than an hour. Maybe we should just return to it. Very little information. Let's see if we got lineups. We must not. If it feels like this game is just going to be canceled. The Philadelphia lineup is in Segura, Miller, Harper, McCutchen, Realmuto, Gregorius, Bohm, Herrera, and Wheeler. I mean, is it Scherzer on the bump? Look at that. Matty Ice camping with the family and capping these games right now. CT Bay says Scherzer starting and could get pulled at any point. And there's Chef Jeff in the house giving a shout out to Mr. and Miss Crawford. A happy 32nd wedding anniversary. Man, that is incredible. Incredible. Much love to you, Ron Crawford. Thank you for all the hard work that you put in to this show with your spreadsheet plays of the day. And much love to you and your wife on this special 32nd wedding anniversary. Ron Crawford. Respect. Okay. Turns, he says, I let my 13-year-old cousin who's been listening with me today and yesterday make his first bet. He likes Yankees full game and a Gallo Jack. So, okay, we'll just go over some of the numbers that we'll be dealing with when this game does pop off. And you guys can let me know. Puzzler says line's now up at Bet365. Well, that's a good spot. Sharpie says rumor has it Max is heading to the Red Sox. I've heard that rumor as well. So let's move over to full game. And so it's Wheeler Scherzer. Okay, so it's Wheeler Scherzer. We have a line. Scherzer sitting at plus 135. This total full game is at 5. With Scherzer going up against Wheeler, 78 Fahrenheit, mostly cloudy, 10 miles per hour, out to left center. Scherzer has allowed 5 home runs in his last 3 starts. He has allowed 17 home runs in 105 innings, but 2.83 ERA, 0.89 whip, 7-4, 142 Ks in 105 innings, 25 walks. Last start, he allowed 4 earned runs, 2 jacks, 3 walks, 8 Ks, and 8-7 win at home versus the Padres. Zach Wheeler coming off a very nice start at home versus Atlanta, and I should have backed him. It was an expensive bet to back him, and I should have done it. I did not. Ramon Scott says, at Citizens Bank Park, Max is 7-1 with a 2.41 ERA in 10 starts. Spreadsheet play is in. Chicago White Sox -1. Look, I love that spot. Why did it go from -192, which was the toughest line on the board, to -185? I can't wait to talk about that game because I've watched Carlos Hernandez, and he looks very, very hittable. There's Nasty Nate, Ulysses Hayes ready to get to work, and the Nats lineup is posted. So let's refresh this. God, I can't get it yet. Okay, I'm not getting the Nats lineup yet. Not getting the Nats lineup yet. I'll look forward to see it. YouTube Everything says, give me a free play. I'll take the Nats. I need to see that lineup to see who is out with these COVID issues. Ramon Scott says, Understein coming in right now in game 1. Wheeler's last start was great. 7 hits, 1 earned run, 2 walks, 8 Ks, and a 5-1 win at home versus Atlanta. 2.37 ERA, 1.01 whip, 160 Ks, and 132 and 2/3, 30 walks, and 8 home runs allowed in 132 and 2/3 innings. Less than half the home runs that Scherzer's allowed in 27 more innings. Over the last 30 days, the Nats are hitting .268 with a .756 OPS versus righties. The Phillies, .249, .797 OPS versus righties. The Phillies are raking righties right now. Nats bullpen over the last 30 days, atrocious. 6.21 ERA, 1.54 whip, and have converted just 3 of 9 save opportunities while the Phillies bullpen has struggled all year long, including the last 30 days. 4.71 ERA, 1.47 whip, converted 5 of 7 save opportunities. There's Dutch Boy Fresh in the house. Wheeler versus Scherzer and Corbin versus Vince Velasquez. So that's exactly what I was hoping it would be. And Gambler's First Glance is in. Razor Sharp Picks in. I'm going to copy and paste that. And Soto and Bell in. Rest looks suspect, says CT Bays. So it doesn't surprise me that the under is being pushed, but with the way these teams are hitting, it's 5 runs is not that difficult. Soupy Panty says Phillies are past, and there's Fap win. Fap win 1:45 in the morning. I was ready. I had my big bet in on your horse, and he was scratched at the gate. Maybe it was 2 in the morning. And I love your action. So let me just copy and paste that in a second. First off, Razor Sharp Picks is on the Tampa Bay money line here. Thank you for sharing that with us. Razor Gambler's First Glance is in. And I will copy and paste that. Fap, thank you for sharing that with us. All right. Get that in here. Okay. All right, so we have plays of the day coming in. Everybody working together. And Ramon says both lineups are in. Can I get them now? Come on, give them to me now. I want to take a look at this. Okay, Escobar, Soto, Bell, Harrison, Luis Garcia, Parra, Gomes, Stevenson, Scherzer. So not a terrible lineup. I expect that second game lineup to be terrible. I'll go all in for this start with Scherzer on the mound. All right, let's break this down a little more. We have a total at 5 right now. We'll see where the cash lies, and we'll go to baseball data first and see what we are dealing with. All right, here we go. Okay, batter versus pitcher, Scherzer versus Wheeler. Against Wheeler, they're hitting .301 with an .824 OPS. And I believe those are similar numbers to what the Braves did against Wheeler, and he shut them down pretty easily. Against Scherzer, the Phillies are hitting .225 with a .729 OPS. And CT Bay says Miller's in for Hoskins. Rest of the Phillies lineup full strength. CT Bay says that's the best lineup the Nats can throw out in either game. I agree. And TJ play today in Olympic golf. Hughes minus 120. Hughes minus 120 in a matchup from our guy TJ. Mike M says I like Washington game 1 without Hoskins. Vince Velasquez in game 2, third straight home start with what should be a depleted lineup. We've seen Velasquez pitch well against weak lineups and then get rocked by strong lineups. We're going to go over game 2 in a second. Total at 5. There's not a lot for me to like in this spot. Let's just see if there's any cash flow in here for game 1. There's nothing that we can use in the double dip. All right, nothing for me in game 1 of the double dip. But if the Nationals win game 1 and they put out a weak lineup for 3:40 p.m. Eastern, I still don't want to back Vince Velasquez. I still want nothing to do with Vince Velasquez. Going to be 78 Fahrenheit, a little more humid for game 2. Patrick Corbin on the hill, who can't be trusted. And look, I'm not going to sit here and trust him. 6.9, 5.71 ERA, 1.45 whip, 104 innings, 80 Ks, 36 walks, 19 home runs. In his last start, he got hit for 5 runs. 4 of them were earned and 5 1/3 in a 6-1 loss at the Orioles. Vince Velasquez, 3-5, 5.54 ERA, 1.43 whip. Again, the Nats are hitting .268, 756 OPS versus righties. And I know they're going to have a depleted lineup in, but I still don't trust Velasquez at all. Let's Dance says we should just pass. And Sammy Calmer saying Cesar Hernandez to the White Sox. Interesting. Thank you for sharing that with us, Sam. Phillies versus lefties, 232, 745 OPS. Earlier in the year, they were hitting lefties harder than righties. That has changed. Let's move over to the baseball data for game 2. Game 2, we have against Corbin, they're hitting .266 with a 715 OPS, 37 for 139 with just 1 home run against Patrick Corbin. Interesting. And against Velasquez, look, he's had this team's number, 135 with a 508 OPS, but I don't trust him. And I'm not going to trust him as a favorite. Not going to trust him as a favorite. Why don't we take another look here at the market moves in this game? Do we have any? Are they going to show us anything? Do a little refresher. And they are not showing us anything. All right. Crystal Warren says Velasquez has been serving homers. And I don't want him. I don't want him as a favorite, even against a depleted lineup. Rob Miller says good chance the second Phil's game will have rain trouble. And Michael Evelina says I took the Rays yesterday, hoping they land Scherzer and Bryant. I get it. Okay, so no move for me in the double dip. I will be curious to see what happens in game one. I'll be curious to see what the Washington Nationals lineup will be in game two. But nothing for me. Here we go. The next stop on the card is another 12:10 p.m. start. Atlanta Braves 50-52, 24-27 on the road at the New York Mets 54-46, 32-17 at home. All right, I know what game Jose will be focusing on here, and it's a very interesting one. Jose's winning streak snapped at 4. He's going to need some uplifting comments from us. He's got to get back on the winners immediately. Okay, not much. I don't have the numbers on me, but I want to say numbers one-sided on game 2s of the doubleheader favoring the team that lost game 1. Yeah, I feel that. It worked for us yesterday. Real Deal Prime says Atlanta for the win 100%. Citi Field, Queens, New York, 79 Fahrenheit, overcast, 12 more miles per hour, out to left center. Drew Smiley, he's been very good to us. Very good to us this season. 7-3, 4.30 ERA, 1.34, 88 innings, 77 Ks, 33 walks, 17 home runs. His last start was good. It was at the Phillies. It was a 15-3 win. He went 4 innings, allowed 3 hits, 3 walks, 3 Ks. Going up against Taijuan Walker, who has not looked as good as of late. 7-4, 3.43 ERA, 1.18 WHIP, 94 in the third, 90 Ks, 36 walks, 9 homers on the season. In his last start, he got touched hard at home versus the Jays. 4 innings, 8 hits, 6 earned runs, 3 homers, 2 walks, 1 K. The Braves are hitting 256, 759 OPS versus righties, and the Mets are hitting 284, 809 OPS versus lefties. And I know that dropped minimally after yesterday's game, but they're smashing lefties, and it makes me very concerned to back Smiley here. Very concerned to back Smiley here. Robert Allen says Braves at plus 115. I'm banking that Walker gets hit today and the Braves simply outscore the Mets. I'm taking the value and the Braves. Soupy Panty says can't get a good read on Mets versus Braves. Leaning first 5 over 4.5. And Real Deal Prime 7-1 are the Braves in Smiley's last 8 games. So the Braves bullpen over the last 30 days are good. We look at their season-long totals and think they're bad, but Anthopoulos has got this bullpen moving in the right direction. 3.42 ERA, 1.30 WHIP, have converted 4 of 7 save opportunities. The Mets bullpen, 4.80 ERA, 1.53 WHIP, have converted 8 of 13 save opportunities. All right, let's take a look and see what the market has done in this game. Braves, Mets, this total at 4.5 has moved heavily to the I guess not. Sorry, I just see minus 120s. But no, Pinnacle has not moved it. Open under. Oh, excuse me. Jesus, every single book has the 4.5 under. Pinnacle has just moved this 4.5 to the over. This just happened 1 minute ago. 1 minute ago, there was a 10-cent move to the first 4.5 for the first 5 over 4.5. And this is very interesting because 17 minutes ago, they moved it down to 4, then back to 4.5, and steam on the first 5 over. Very, 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 very interesting. This is just happening as we speak. So let's take a look at the full game market moves here. Full game money lines and totals. Braves, Mets. Let's take a look right now. We have the full game total under 8.5 at minus 109. There's been a 1 cent move there. And then the Mets opened up at minus 136 and are now at minus 126. And that should be explainable because Taijuan Walker has been bad for 2 starts in a row. Let's take a look at the batter versus pitcher. Against Smiley, the Mets are hitting 360 with a 1.069 OPS. 9 for 25 with 2 jacks. Against Walker, 259 with a 785 OPS. Life of Von Polo over 4. Real Deal Prime says Walker's got a bad shoulder. All right. So Mets bullpen over the last 30 days, we talked about it yesterday, being surprisingly bad. 4.80 ERA, 1.53 whip, have converted 8 of 13 save opportunities. Rodney Barton says also the over is 6-0 in Smiley's last 6 starts when their opponent scored 2 runs or less in their previous game. That's a great stat, Rodney. Great stat. Everybody, I love this. Working together to figure out how to get paid in full. Let's look at where the cash lies. We have 4,236 tickets in. 59% of the tickets and 70% of the cash on the Mets in a market move towards the Braves. 52% of the tickets and 56% of the cash on the over. And I know it's simple, but these early starts, you often see low-scoring games, especially early. And we've seen this big market move to the over. This is going to be no move for me. No move for me at 12:10 p.m. Eastern. And I wouldn't even take Smiley on a free play. I didn't. The fact that these Mets hit him the way they do makes me uncomfortable. The market move towards the Braves indicates that they're the right side. Tariq looking at Braves money line. Creo saying Walker is going to be hittable. All right. Real Deal Prime says Walker red flag, long ball, baby. Very, very interesting market moves. Very interesting market moves. And that was just in. That happened now 4 minutes ago. A huge move to the first 5 over. A huge move. All right. So those are the 12-10 games that are popping off in 40 minutes. There's the Nationals, Phillies, game 1, and the Braves, Mets at 12:10, and I'm not making moves on them, which will make it a little easier for me to focus because we need to give a real nice uplifting speech to our man, Jose. Get him right. Get him thinking right. All right. We move on to 1:10 p.m. Eastern. New York Yankees, 53-47. 26-24 on the road to Tampa Bay Rays, 60-42, 30-20 at home. And we come to our razor sharp picks, Gambler's First Glance. He's on Tampa Bay money line at plus 110. We're at Tropicana Field in St. Petersburg, Florida. CT Bay's also on the Rays money line. And Platinum Paul, by the way, our guy Platinum Paul on Braves team total over 3.5 in that game we just broke down. Okay. Garrett Cole, 10-5, 2.74 ERA, 0.97 whip, 125 innings, 166 Ks, 26 walks, 16 home runs. There was a lot of you that faded him in his last start, and it was a great look, and it was impressive. What made it more impressive was that you guys lost your starting pitcher, and we have to cap him today, Eduardo Rodriguez, in the second inning with migraine symptoms. And the Red Sox still handled their business. But they're not on the field here. Yankees, Rays. Garrett Cole went 5 innings, allowed 6 hits, 3 earned runs, 1 homer, 2 walks, 8 Ks, and a 6-2 loss. Going up against Luis Patino. 1-2, 5.26 ERA, 1.25 whip, 25 2/3, 28 Ks, 8 walks, 4 home runs. In his last start, he went 5 1/3. He allowed 5 hits, 4 earned runs, 1 homer, 3 walks, 4 Ks, in a 5-4 extra inning win at Cleveland. The Yankees, in their last 30 days against righties, are hitting just .204 with a 629 OPS. The Rays versus righties over their last 30, .251 with a 782 OPS. Also, this Yankees bullpen over the last 30 days has been terrible. 5.63 ERA, 1.38 whip, have converted just 5 of 11 save opportunities. But a big number there is the 11 save opportunities. As we go through this card here today, what other teams have had 11 save opportunities in the last 30 days? Well, the Cincinnati Reds have had 18 save opportunities. Has anybody else had 11? The Tigers have had 11 save opportunities. The Red Sox have had 12 save opportunities. So have the Angels. And the Padres have had 11. So that's pretty impressive. Soupy Panty says, gotta be Yankees here. Gotta be Yankees here. And Jose says this was almost the say-hey play of the day. He says, I love fading Cole. And Mally Mal giving us a great stat. Patino, 1.03 ERA in his last 3 home appearances. Crystal Warren says, I took Yankees first 3 instead of first 5. Tampa got the cold in the 4th and 5th last game. That's an interesting look. A Real Deal Prime says New York will hit Patino over. And Maurice Walker picking up 3,200. Had a boy. Great job yesterday. Okay. So let's dive in a little deeper here. We're going to go with baseball data. We know that this sticky stuff has played a role in Cole looking more hittable of late. The Rays hit him 281 with an 846 OPS. G-Man Choi is 8 for 12 against Cole with 3 doubles and 3 homers. Yandy Diaz 8 for 21 with a homer. But those are the only guys with averages over 300 against them. Against Luis Patino, 273 with an 879 OPS. So Robert Allen says, is Gallo playing today? Let's see if we can get a lineup from the Yankees, and we do, and he's not in the lineup. This is not a good-looking lineup. LeMahieu, Judge, Odor, Stanton, Torres, Ursula, Gardner, Higashioka, and Greg Allen. For the Rays, Brandon Lowe, G-Man Choi, Yandy Diaz, Meadows, Arozarena, Franco, Kiermaier, Zunino, and Phillips. So no Nelson Cruz in the Rays lineup. So let's take a look at the market moves here. This total opens up at 8. It's now at 7.5, and a big move towards the Rays. Cole opens up at -141. He's now at -124. A big move towards the Rays. So we have 77% of the tickets and 85% of the cash on the Yankees, and yet the move has come to the Rays. 50% of the tickets on the under, 88% of the cash, and we've seen it move a half run. That all makes sense. Diesel said, looks like it's going to be Bundy Day in Anaheim. Really? I don't have... Really, Diesel? I thought... Okay, we'll get to that. But I thought that... I thought it was Cobb. It's not Cobb, Diesel? Johnny K says, Yanks need this win. This... I think Gambler's First Glance is on one here. I think he's on one. I think that the Rays are the look here. All right, I think I'm getting on the board with the Rays full game. Now we're going to have to trust Luis Patino at home. But look at that lineup. Does that scare you? Does that Yankees lineup put any fear in you whatsoever? They've got Rougned Odor batting 3rd. And CT Bays heard no Cobb. Okay, thank you guys. Mally Mall, it's crazy. A 15-cent move right now while we have all of the public, or all the early action, I should say, on the New York Yankees. And Turnsy has Bundy too. Okay, thank you guys. Very helpful. Okay, I think I'm tailing Gambler's First Glance. I think I'm tailing our man Razor Sharp Picks and Gambler's First Glance. All right, we move on. We move on to 2:10 p.m. Eastern. And the first 2 looks that I wanted, and YouTube everything's saying Odor's still a good hitter. I know. He started to hit better. I mean, he was, way under the Mendoza line for most of the season. White Sox at Kansas City Royals. Real Deal Prime says Patino 8.36 ERA going in. Well, he's got a 5.26 ERA on the season. Do you mean against? I don't know. I don't know. I don't think that. I don't find this Yankees lineup scary. And yeah, Von Polo talking about the Batista knockout punch. I get it. Okay, and North Ender just locked in Tampa plus 110. Okay, let's move on. White Sox, Kansas City Royals. So the first thing that I thought of immediately was that I've watched Carlos Hernandez pitch. The first time I watched him pitch, he was decent. decent. That first time he saw the lineup, it was when I had a bet on Bubic, and he went down after 3 innings. He had something wrong with his shoulder. Carlos Hernandez came in, and he just doesn't have a ton of movement. He has enough speed, but he doesn't have a ton of movement. Emmanuel Smith says, White Sox are pathetic. Shake my head. Against righties over the last 30 days, they're hitting .265 with an .829 OPS. And remember, it is extremely humid right now in Kansas City. 95 Fahrenheit at first pitch, 9 miles per hour to right, but it feels like 109 Fahrenheit. There's gas station sushi in the house. TJ says it's so hot in KC, and this was an easy first 5 under yesterday. KC pitcher shaky, but I'm going back to the first 5 under. We have Ron Crawford on a spreadsheet play with the Chicago White Sox on the -1 line, and that makes sense to me. And Ramon Scott says, yeah, White Sox sucks. They're only 19 games over 500. Carlos Rodon coming off a tough start at the Brewers. There's a 6-1 loss. He goes 4 innings, 4 hits, 2 earned runs, solo shots, 2 walks, 5 Ks. He's got great numbers on the year, 2.24 ERA, 0.92 whip, 145 Ks, 28 walks in 102 thirds. But he doesn't have great numbers against the Royals. They're hitting .288 with a 752 OPS against them. Whit Merrifield, 9 for 22. Carlos Santana, 11 for 31. Salvi Perez, 6 for 17 against them. Jorge Soler, just 3 for 11. My first thought was over. But a ton of money has come in on the under, and it's quickly moved from 10 to 9.5. Mally Mouse says Tim Anderson definitely been underperforming. Real Deal Prime says White Sox win, Rodon shuts the door. Ulysses Hayes says I'm leaning KC money line. And Marissa says Atlanta Braves awful loss, straight fire. Sean Hester says thoughts on Rays over 1.5 first 5. My thought, Sean, is that for me, I'd much rather have this Tampa Bay Rays lineup against, even with Nelson Cruz out of it, against this Yankees lineup the way it is right now. And I would like to have the full game use of the Rays bullpen against the Yankees bullpen. And so I'd rather have a plus line on the Rays and not be concerned with in case Cole does pitch well. Okay, North Ender leaning KC, but no play right now. I want to fade Carlos Hernandez. His last start at home versus the Tigers, he lasted 2 2/3, 5 earned runs, 1 home run, 4 walks, 2 Ks. He's pitching for his career here. 6.04 ERA, 1.66 whip. He has 21 walks. 21 walks and 28 in the third. I don't trust him. And this Royals bullpen over the last 30 days, a 6 ERA, 1.36 whip, and converted 7 of 10. Brooks Wright going with Cole under 5.5 Ks. That's an interesting look, Brooks. I'll keep an eye out for that. And Ulysses Hayes has Mets moneyline play of the day. Very interesting. Very, very interesting with the market move in that game. Mally Mouse says, Rays have seriously raked Cole. I don't understand this line, though. I still think that Cole's always going to get love. You're never going to see Cole at a pick'em. And Michael Irvelina says, lineups just came out. White Sox sitting big bats. Thank you. That is helpful. So I have the Royals lineup. Let's see this White Sox lineup. Okay. I don't have it yet. Who is in? Who's sitting? Okay. CT Base says, no way Scherzer finishes the game once NL West GMs wake up. And TJ says, yup, hammered the first 5 under. Okay. White Sox bullpen over the last 30 days. Bad. A very interesting spot here, though, is that the Royals last 30 days against lefties have been smashing them. 269, 815 OPS. You look at what the White Sox are doing the righties. Royals are doing the lefties. Both oppositions have hit these pitchers. And you think over, and money just pouring in constantly on the under. By the way, against Carlos Hernandez, there's 6 at-bats, but they're 3 for 6. Robert Lyon says, you got to get on the White Sox today and put them on your card. -0.5 first 5 at -140. I had -150. Oh, Patino. Sorry, under 5.5 Ks for Patino, says Brooks Wright. That makes more sense. Okay. So when I looked at White Sox first 5, it was -150. And if I wanted the White Sox on the -1 line, it was just a +120 on the -1.5. So it was a -150 and a +120. To be up 2 runs in the first 5, I don't love that. And I really want to know who the White Sox have in the lineup. See, refresh again. Still don't have it. Okay, so I too want the White Sox, but some doesn't add up. The White Sox open up at minus 171. They're now minus 179. Money's coming in on this under 9.5 to the extent where we have seen our first 9. Our first 9 is on the board at Heritage. Wow. Okay, let's see where the cash lies in this game. Right now, we have 6,166 tickets in. So that's the most we have of any game on the board. Gives us a good sample size. 80% of the tickets and 90% of the cash on the White Sox. And the market's just slowly moving towards them. It's strange. And then 54% of the tickets and 72% of the cash on the over. And yet we're dropping from 9.5 now to 9. Ramon Scott says Abreu has a sore neck. Tim Anderson has scheduled off day. Jimenez growing tightness. And Kopech and Hendricks unavailable in the pen. That's great information. Rodney Barton says under 6-0 in last 6 for the White Sox. I don't know. Might just keep riding that train. Wow. Billy Friedrich says doesn't matter. White Sox have been doing it all season long with key injuries. They have been, especially to the outfield. Wow. And Mike M says White Sox super public spot today. You're absolutely right. Well, we see the Royals lineup. The Royals lineup's in Merrifield, Santana, Perez, Soler, Dozier, Taylor, Alberto, Gallagher, and then Nicky Lopez. I'm going to try to refresh this one more time. And I still don't have a White Sox lineup. Okay. And Millsy says my Yankees will win today. We got the vibe. Cole World over 9.5 Ks too. Billy Friedrich says Carlos Hernandez numbers after Spider Track crackdown are horrible. Billy Friedrich, I'm with you, man. I want to fade Carlos Hernandez. And no Abreu, no Eloy or Anderson. Okay, well, simply put, when these lineups come out and everybody sees them, money's going to start coming in on the Royals. I do want the White Sox, but I want a better line than this. And I want to study who is in the lineup and what they do against Carlos, or what they're capable of doing against Carlos Hernandez. So this is a lot of moving parts on this card. Ron Crawford's spreadsheet play today is on the White Sox. And it was one of those spots where last night I was thankful that I didn't make a bet on the over because I'm looking at the way these guys are hitting the opposite hand. White Sox smashing righties, Royals smashing lefties. And Royals are smashing lefties to the extent where, I don't know, Carlos Rodon coming off a 4-inning performance. It was a road start. Now he's got another road start in 109 Fahrenheit. Michael Irvine says, I bet them before looking at the lineup. I feel horrible about my Sox bets now. And Eric Jones on the under 9.5. Look, and then CT Bay says this all sounds like Royals plus 160 to me. I can't trust Carlos Hernandez under any circumstances. If you like the Royals, maybe live bet them. Because I think Carlos Hernandez is going to get touched by a weaker lineup. Okay, we could sit here and hum and haw. We are going to move on right now. We're going to move on. We're going to move on to 2:20 p.m. Eastern. Cincinnati Reds at Chicago Cubs. I find this game absolutely fascinating, and it also is a Jose Say Hey play of the day, who I'll be introducing here shortly. Reds 53-49, 27-23 on the road at the Cubs, 50-53, 31-20 at home. We're at Wrigley Field in Chicago, Illinois, 82 Fahrenheit, humid, partly cloudy, and 15 miles per hour in. Now, Jose's winning streak has come to an end, and he's going to need some uplifting words because I want him to be inspired. I want him to fight for wins and fight to get back to the black. So let's bring in our man, Jose, start of the Say Hey play of the day. Very fascinating spot here, Jose. Welcome to the show. Reds, Cubs, how are you?
I'm not doing well, Jimmy. Like you said, I took my first loss in a while, and I think I need some help, Jimmy. I'm reaching out. I think I need some help. I have the mentality of a toddler. I'm soft as baby shit, as they say.
Yeah.
And I don't know how to bounce back from a loss, Jimmy, and I think I need some guidance.
I'll help you. Look, Jose, you took a loss, a bad one, a landslide.
Tragic.
Your winning streak has come to an end. And I know there's been a lot of yelling in your face. But we care about you. We care about you. But you don't You make it easy, Jose. You make it very, very difficult because I'm not sure if you care enough. I don't know if you care enough. You show up, you roll out of bed. The only thing you got going for you is this gorgeous mustache and a handful of losers you spread out to my friends and family in the chat. Jose, you finally brought something to the table. And that was your mustache. And yet you talk about shaving it? You talk about shaving it! I'll tell you this, Jose. I've spoken with Slaughter. If you shave that mustache, you are fired.
Well, I'll tell you, August 31st. That's the show to tune into, everyone, because this mustache is going to be gone. It will be my last show on this program. So I hope you guys tune in August 31st.
Look at you giggling. Do you care, Jose?
No,
because
I don't care enough.
And we need a winner right now.
Okay.
Jose, let's break this down. Cubbies, Reds. It's a fascinating gambling situation because the Cubbies look like they're giving up and they're sellers. But Alec Mills is pitching, and he has been a strong arm for them, especially at home. Let's bring up his splits right now. At home, he's 4-0 with a 3 ERA. Opponents are batting .250 against him. And then take it further. Baseball data, Jose. These guys don't hit him. In 75 at-bats, they're hitting 133 with a 560 OPS. What is your move here? What's going to get you out of this one-game losing streak?
So, Jimmy, I think I like simplicity. You're right about all this Alec Mills. You know, he's good at home. But I truly think that the Reds are just a better team. They've got the better lineup. They've got the better pitcher today. Luis Castillo had his struggles early in the season. We talked about it all on the show a lot. I said that I needed him not to get traded to the Yankees, et cetera, et cetera. And now he's turned it on. Last couple of months, he's been great. I'm going to keep it simple. I'm taking Reds first 5, -0.5. Right now, it's at -106. And now, right now, yeah, -106. Earlier in the show is even money. So it's going up a little bit, but makes me feel better about it. So give me those Reds for -0.5 today.
Reds first 5, just completely disregarding the stats in front of you, Jose.
I'll spit in those fucking stats right in their mouth, Jimmy. Spit right in their mouth. Jimmy, by the way, speaking of spitting in mouths, I won a silver medal yesterday, or not yesterday, I guess, these Olympics. Turnsey put it to my attention. He made a graphic for us. I wanted to shout him out. I showed it on another program. I think we should show it on this one. I'd like to congratulate myself on my Venezuelan silver medal for weightlifting this year. So congratulations to me, and shout out to Turnsey for making this lovely graphic of me and my mustache and my rippling muscles.
God, if there's no sloppy tits, no one's gonna buy that shit. Jose, look, come on. Let's not. This is a very serious show, and you sit back, you giggle, you don't take this shit seriously. Like anyone's gonna buy that bullshit.
I mean, I'll take off my shirt right now, Jimmy. There's been a lot of bitch tits talk in the last couple of days.
Look,
I'm ready.
No, we do not want to see those sloppy tits of yours, all right?
They're extremely sloppy.
Let's get back to work here. Castillo's last start was very good. It was at home versus the Cardinals. 7 innings, 5 hits, 1 earned run, no homers, 3 walks, 9 Ks. He had a bad start to the season, but he's been pitching much better. 4.20 ERA, 1.39 whip here. The Reds in their last 30 days are hitting 248, 758 OPS versus righties. The Cubs in the last 30 days are hitting terribly versus righties. 231, 684 OPS. The Reds bullpen last 30 days has been bad. 4.75 ERA, 1.45 whip. When you wonder why these Reds are buyers right now, they have had 18 save opportunities in the last 30 days. The Cubs bullpen's been bad. 5.59 ERA, 1.45 whip. We'll go to baseball data here. And in the baseball data against Castillo, the Cubs are hitting 265, 773 OPS. So if we think that Mills can have a good start and we're confident that Castillo can have a good start, well, wouldn't that lead us towards a possible under? 15 miles per hour weather coming in. 15 miles per hour coming in. Is RotoWire going to confirm that? Let's see if RotoWire confirms it. 14 miles per hour in. And yet this total goes from 7 to 7.5, which makes no sense to me. And then this first 5 at 3.5 goes from over 3.5 at -108 to over 3.5 at -121. It's very confusing. And then we're going to go to where the cash lies here. You have 73% of the tickets and 78% of the cash on the Cincinnati Reds. And when we go to a full game money line and total here, you have all that cash coming in on the Reds, and you have the Reds opening up at -114 and now at -122. So that does make sense. Then for the total, you have 59% of the tickets, 66% of the tickets on the over and 59% of the cash on the over. Leroy Flood screaming at you to stay focused, Jose. What's going on? I'm reading stats here. What are you doing when I'm reading stats? You fucking around?
I don't know. I don't think so. I do not think
Stay focused, Jose!
I will! Okay.
All right. Jose's on the Reds' first 5. And what was the line you got?
Right now, currently, Pinnacle, it is at -106. -106. I love how the chat's just trying to get me in trouble now. Christopher Commentini is trying to throw me under the bus for texting. Sir, I'm not texting. I'm trying to produce over here, Christopher Commentini. Leave me alone. Let me live my life. Chris?
Well, I think I want this first 5 under. I do. I think I want this first 5 under 3.5. Are they going to give me plus money? Let me just see if I get...
You'll get a +105 at Pinnacle if you fancy that. I have trust issues with Alec Mills. You know, I understand he's got a good ERA at home, but you know, just putting your money in the hands of someone like Alec Mills and feeling ridiculous if he gives up 2 home runs in the first inning is just not the way I wanted to go. I just trust my man Luis Castillo a lot more. You know. It's at the end of the day, Jimmy, it's one of those things. If you sit back, you lay your head on the pillow, you close your eyes, and you think, I put my money on Luis Castillo or Alec Mills. And I just feel much more comfortable trusting the Reds, their lineup, and Luis Castillo.
Well, goddamn. On behalf of everybody, I hope you can find the winner. Yeah.
Breaking news. Your Toronto Blue Jays just acquired Brad Hand.
Oh, God, it's just too little, too late. But obviously,
Yes,
we need help in the bullpen badly. All right. Preston Ekdahl in the house is wise in the bet. Joey Votto did hit a homer. And, CT Base says Brad Hand traded to the Jays. Wow. Sean Thompson liking the full game under here, too. But why would this market be going against us? It's just so confusing. I do not trust the bullpen, so I'd prefer a 3.5. But a 3.5, we've seen this work to our advantage. When the wind's blowing in at Wrigley, and I'm leaning heavy towards the first 5 under 3.5.
Yeah, I'm honestly thinking it's going to be like a 1-0 ball game. That's what I was anticipating from this first.
I didn't just take Jose out. He just fucking disappeared. So that wasn't me. But there he goes. Jose's say hey play of the day is on the Reds first 5 at -106. And I am very close to moving on the first 5 under 3.5. Thank you, Jose. And thank you for taking yourself out.
No problem. These two facts, they like kicking me out. So thanks, Jimmy. I appreciate it. How about we get a winner? And did you say some mean things about me before I gone? Can you please tell me them to my face so I can feel better about myself?
No, Jose, I want you to reach up. I want you to feel a winner like the semen in your mustache. All right? And God bless you. There he is, Jose, star of the Say Hey play of the day on the Reds' first 5 at -106. All right, we're going to move on to 3:45 p.m. Eastern. Los Angeles Dodgers, 62-41, 29-23 on the road at San Francisco Giants, 63-38, 32-16 at home. We're at Oracle Park in San Francisco, California. David Price going up against Johnny Cueto. And we have now come to the Dirty K prop of the day. Our man, Sharpie, angry, looking for a winner for us, wanting to right the ship. Now, sure, he wants to right the ship, but don't forget, he is still 40-28, hitting at 58.8%, David Sharp coming on here to give us the Dirty K prop of the day. Sharpie, my man, how are you?
You know what, Jim? I heard someone's trying to take my Intercontinental Championship. Well, I'm the Tower of Power, too sweet to be sour. I'm funky like a monkey, and the sky's the limit, and space is the place. I'm living in a nightmare, and I'm the cream. Yeah, I'm the cream of the crop, and there is no one who does it better than the Guapo Man. Unbalanced, off-balanced, I'm better than you.
Guapo Man in the house. We have an interesting pitch-up matchup with David Price and Johnny Cueto. I see these two guys listed. I immediately want to take the first 5 over, but the market wasn't moving in that direction, and I thought it's best to talk it out with you guys. 63 Fahrenheit, partly cloudy, 8 miles per hour out to left center. David Price, Johnny Cueto. We'll break down their numbers here shortly, but let's hear who Sharpie is moving on.
I'm a homer, guys, but I usually don't take my team just because I'm a fucking homer. That has nothing to do with it. I'll bet against or on my Dodgers. Today we're taking David Price, guys. David Price has only started 3 times this year. He's went 3 innings, 4 innings, and 5.2 the last time out. He went from 50, 66 up to 74. He should see 85 to 90 pitches today. 85 to 90 pitches, I got him calculated at 6 Ks through 6 innings, and it's at 4.5 at minus 108. The Giants, since the All-Star break, they're number 3 in K percentage and number 12 in walk percentage. If we shrink it down and just go the last week, they're number 1 in strikeout percentage, number 23rd in walk percentage, guys. Something's going on this last week where the Giants are not seeing the ball, and we're going to capitalize on them. David Price over 4.5 at even money.
David Price
What's
over
that? Minus 105. My bad.
minus 105. David Price over 4.5 Ks. 4-0 on the year, 3.35 ERA, 1.46 whip, 39 Ks and 40 in the third, 11 walks, 5 home runs, and his velocity has increased throughout the season. Last start, 5 2/3, 4 hits, 3 earned runs, 2 homers, 1 walk, 4 Ks, and a 9-6 extra inning loss at home versus the Rockies. Get that in you. Get that in you. Okay, let's move over. Sorry, I thought that was the wind outside. I thought you were hitting the bong there.
Hey, I'm getting there.
Okay, you are. Okay, I thought you were. Okay.
Oh, yeah, brother. Snap into a BBW.
Price, they're hitting 333 with a 1.109 OPS versus David Price. They're 13 for 39. But in those 39 at-bats, 12 strikeouts. 12 strikeouts. Going up against Johnny Cueto, 6-5, 4.09 ERA, 1.26 whip, 88 innings, 77 Ks, 17 walks, 13 home runs. In his last start, he allowed 3 earned runs in 5 innings, 1 homer, 1 walk, 7 Ks, in a 6-4 loss at home versus the Pirates. The Dodgers in the last 30 days hitting 248, 764 OPS versus righties. Last 30 days, the Giants are hitting 259, 734 OPS versus lefties. And both bullpens have been good, except the back end of the Dodgers bullpen. So the Dodgers bullpen last 30 days, 3.75 ERA, 1.26 whip, but they've converted just 3 of 10 save opportunities. Giants bullpen, 3.40 ERA, 1.13 whip, have converted 8 of 10 save opportunities. And against Cueto, 284, 832 OPS. Sean Thompson says Dodgers are low-hanging fruit. And Ramon Scott says, by the way, sure many have noticed Phillies getting absolutely pounded now, minus 155 against Scherzer. Okay, here we go. Let's take a look at the market move on this spot. This over 8.5 was at minus 112. Now it's at minus 115. And the Dodgers go from minus 119 to minus 117. And let's see if the cash flow makes sense with this spot. Here we go. We have 4,375 tickets in. 53% of the tickets, 55% of the cash on the Dodgers. And then 41% of the tickets and 95% of the cash on the under. So you obviously expect a strong start from Price. And what is your expectations of Cueto?
Cueto's a bum waiting to get lit up like a freaking Christmas tree, guys. He can't. He could trick you the first or second time, but if you've seen him more than that Louis Tiant thing just ain't doing it when you throw 91 miles per hour, guys. And Dodgers hit righties.
No discretion advised. Says fade San Francisco run is over. Eric Jones says over here.
And you brought up that Dodgers shitty ass bullpen. I've got good sources saying that they're the front runners on Craig Kimbrell right now. So hopefully the Dodgers pull that.
Wow. All right, price over 4.5 Ks. I'm interested in the first 4 over 4.5. Look, I don't trust Cueto, but I'm not sitting here with a ton of trust on Price. And that fact that there's 98% of the cash on the under may be enough to take me off of the bet.
That makes me want to run the other way.
Yeah.
Straight go over.
Oh, really? Because you see all the interesting.
Yeah. Pay the public.
But I don't think that's a public. See, when I see that, I think when I see a spot like this, so there's 4,375 tickets in. We have 40% of the tickets on the under and 95% now of the cash. I think that's a huge bet from a syndicate on the under.
Okay.
Ugh. And Michael Liverly said this is something we need to see who's in the lineup for the Dodgers. All right, there we go. The Guapo man giving us David Price over 4.5 Ks at -105 to right the ship. I have interest in this first 5 over 4.5, but something scares me. And that's the cash on the under scares me. So I'm unlikely to make the bet now. Where can we find you on Twitter, and what shows you have coming up, Sharpie?
You guys can find me at Sharpie's Bets on Twitter. And remember, guys, you can tell a woman 100 times she's beautiful, she won't believe you. You tell a woman she's fat one time, and she'll remember it for the rest of their life. Remember, guys, elephants never forget shit.
Wow. You're a poet. You're a poet. You're a poet, Sharpie. There he is! Sharpie's Bets with his Dirty K prop of the day. All right, we move on to Milwaukee Brewers at Pittsburgh Pirates. Brewers 60-42, 31-18 on the road at the Pirates, 38-63, 21-28 at home. We're at PNC Park in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and we have arrived at the Taint play of the day. And I have many questions surrounding this baseball game. The Taint play of the day is the Brew Crew full game run line at -115. The Taint 3-game winning streak came to an end yesterday and is sitting at 36-29, hitting at 55.4%. And those of you who have run with Taint for 4 years know that a giant winning streak is ahead for our man Taint. Brewers full game run line -115. All right, let's break this down because I immediately thought about taking the under in the first 5 in this spot with Freddie Peralta going up against Chad Kuhl. I thought that would take a ton of cash, yet this total has gone from 4 to 4.5. Why? And should that be enough just to keep me off of this spot? Full game. We have Milwaukee opening up at -176. They're now at -190. And the over was a pick'em at Pinnacle at -106 on each side. Now -108 to the over. So let's break this down. And we have 77 Fahrenheit, humid, mostly cloudy, 9 miles per hour to straightaway center. Peralta 7-3, 2.29 ERA, 0.89 WHIP, 102 innings, 140 Ks, 46 walks, 10 home runs. Last start, 4 innings, 1 hit. No earned runs, 2 walks, 5 Ks, and 7-1 win at home versus the White Sox, going up against Chad Kuhl. Chad Kuhl's last start was good enough. It was at the Giants. He's got crazy home and road splits, and I'd like to go over them here shortly. 5 1/3, 6 hits, 3 earned runs, 2 homers, 1 walk, 8 Ks, a 6.4 win. On the year, he's got a 4.38 ERA and a 1.36 WHIP. Let's bring up his splits right now, and then somebody could explain to me why this is getting a heat to the over and whether I should just stay off of it and not lose money betting it. Here we go. Chad Kuhl splits. Full splits right here. Chad. Oh, shit. Sorry. One more button. Here we go. Chad Kuhl splits. At home, he's got a 2.36 ERA, and opponents are batting 191 against him. Cuban Connect says Pirates hit Peralta. Be careful, first 5. Ulysses Hayes also looking at the under 4.5. All right. Let's pull up the baseball data next. Against Peralta, they're hitting 261 with a 795 OPS. You know, that doesn't worry me too much because I think Peralta's pitching this year better than he's ever pitched, and I trust him. Against Cool, they're hitting 185 with a 544 OPS. So how has this gone from 4 to 4.5? How? The Brewers versus righties in the last 30 days are hitting 252, 773 OPS. The Pirates versus righties, 254, 749 OPS, but that's dropping. The Brewers bullpen over the last 30 days is over 3 runs per 9 better than the Pirates. 2.23 ERA, 1.15 whip. But something extremely noticeable is as good as the Brewers bullpen has been, they've converted just 1 of 6 save opportunities in 30 days. Pirates, 4 of 7. This is just, I just don't get it. And then you have 76% of the tickets and 83% of the cash on the Brewers. Okay, sure. But 54% of the tickets and 68% of the cash on the over. Why? Why? I hope so, Steve Zang. I hope so. I hope he takes care of me and Frankie. Cuban Connect. Great to have Cuban Connect rolling with us. It's a trap game, Jimmy. For the life of me, when all of the numbers point towards an under except for the temperature, why is it going from 4 to 4.5? It confounds me. And I guess what? I don't move on this? Mally Mouse says, today we might have to bet on how our eyes have been showing us because none of these moves make sense. So, all right. So that's just a very tricky situation. Okay, and there's other who Ulysses Hayes not afraid. He's on the under 4.5. Johnny K says rain in Pittsburgh right now. Going to be hot later. Nut Flush On says if the line is that it is currently on RotoWire gets confirmed, the Giants are a great look. Just waiting for confirmation. I'll be looking at team total over for the Giants and money line for the Giants. Sharpie, your money in the bank, man. You got nothing to worry about. Okay, we'll move on. Sean Tom said this is another game can't tell the truth from the untruth. And Mike M says 95% on the under. No, I wish that was the case. We have 54% of the tickets on the over and 68% of the cash on the over. And we've seen it only go up a tiny bit on the full game, but we've seen the first 5 go from 4 to 4.5. Okay, we're going to move on right now. And I don't know if I guess I just sit back and do nothing, but when that happens and this game goes under, I'm going to lose my shit. All right, 7:10 p.m. Eastern. Nathan Shawhammer, much love to you. Baltimore Orioles, 35-65, 18-34 on the road at Detroit Tigers, 49-55, 28-22 at home, Comerica Park in Detroit, Michigan, 81 Fahrenheit, partly cloudy, 10 miles per hour out to right center. We have Alexander Wells, the lefty on the hill, 1-0, 4.35 ERA, 1.55 whip, 10 and a third, 8K, 6 walks, and 2 home runs. In his last start, he went 5 2/3. He allowed 5 hits, 3 earned runs, 2 homers, 2 walks, 7 Ks in a 5-4 loss to the Rays. Casey Mize, who I do not think can be trusted anymore. He's on a pitch limit, and it's messing with him. He's had a great season, 3.63 ERA, 1.13 whip, 104 innings, 85 Ks, 28 walks, 16 home runs. In his last start against the Kansas City Royals, I wondered, and it was a Saturday, and I didn't cap the game, but I wondered when I watched that game, I was like, would I have lost money on the Tigers and Casey Mize in this spot? Or would I know that because he's on a pitch limit, that he's just not to be trusted anymore? I'm not sure. I don't know what I would have done there. His last start, 4 earned runs, 6 hits, 1 homer, 1 walk, 6 Ks, and 4 2/3. Orioles last 30 days hitting 240, 743 OPS versus righties. Now, I said this. Now, Haas was a big part of this, but I said this when the Tigers had a high 4 OPS versus lefties. I was like, look, we've seen the Tigers smash lefties for 3 years in a row. They're going to get hot against lefties. In the last 30 days, they're hitting 306 with an 845 OPS versus lefties. Orioles bullpen last 30 days, 4.45 ERA, 1.33 whip. They're actually getting their shit together a little bit. The Tigers bullpen over the last 30 days, 5.11 ERA, 1.37 whip, converted 7 of 11 save opportunities. And remember, the Tigers are coming off a 17-14 game yesterday. Nate Doggley in Detroit money line. Eric Jones says Detroit money line and run line. And Sharpie, going back to that Brewers spot, says total move in the Brewers game is because they don't expect Peralta to go far. Last game, only 51 pitches. He has never pitched more than 118 innings in his career and has already passed it. Ooh, Sharpie, that's such a great note. Such a great note. Johnny K likes the Orioles. Enough flush. Thank you. I'm looking forward to see what that lineup is and see what you do with it. Okay, so let's go a little deeper here. We're going to go to baseball data. Baseball data here. Neither opposition has seen the starting pitcher. So far this year, in situations like that, we've cashed unders in those situations. But I'm hesitant to do it here when it's 81 Fahrenheit, partly cloudy, 10 miles per hour out to right center. Wow, look at that. Sanchez will be pitching in game 2 for Velasquez. Thank you, Ramon. Billy Friedrich says over 9.5 runs in this one. All right, well, let's look at the market move in this spot. Detroit opens up at minus 153. They're now minus 152, and this total's gone from 9.5 to 10. Well, let's see if the money supports that, and it doesn't. Why would it go? Why would there be a 1 cent move to the Orioles if 70% of the tickets and 64% of the cash are on the Tigers? And then we have 39% of the tickets on the under and 96% of the cash on the under. It's a confusing spot. Keelan Jackson says first 5 over has been the move lately. Orioles, Tigers. I mean, is Casey Mize going to have a bounce back spot against this Orioles squad who haven't seen him before? And Wheeler 3 up and 3 down. No move for me in Orioles, Tigers. We move on to 7:10 p.m. Eastern. And this is the only move that I've already made. This is the only bet I've already made. I'm on the Jays first 5. And the Rusty Kuntz play of the day is the Jays team total over 2.5 first 5. And Rusty Kuntz coming off a winner yesterday. All right, let's talk about it. Fenway Park in Boston, Massachusetts. Toronto Blue Jays 50-48, 28-26 on the road. At Boston Red Sox 63-40, 33-21 at home. 69 Fahrenheit, light rain, 11 miles per hour out to left center. If this game goes long, that light rain turns into rain. Hyunjin Ryu on the bump for the Jays. 9-5, 3.44 ERA, 1.18 whip, 110 innings, 89 Ks, 25 walks, 14 home runs. He's coming off a poor start where he bent but didn't break against the Mets in a 10-3 win, 4 1/3, 10 hits, 3 earned runs, no homers, 1 walk, 4 Ks. I expect him to be good here. What are we going to get from Eduardo Rodriguez? We're probably going to have a live arm because he left his last start in the second inning after experiencing migraine symptoms. On the year, he's got a 5.23 ERA, 1.35 whip, 96 1/3, 113 Ks, 24 walks, but he's been pitching better of late. Over the last 30 days, both teams have been hitting lefties hard. The Jays slightly harder than the Red Sox. The Jays, 252, 787 OPS. The Red Sox, 248, 778 OPS. The Jays bullpen in the last 30 days cannot be trusted. 4.83 ERA, 1.39 whip. I'm going to focus on the first 5. Red Sox bullpen, 3.38 ERA, 1.17 whip for the 8 of 12. Dommy Gunn says the Tigers are starting to become a public play, and this wave won't last too much longer. All right, Jays, Red Sox. So, Red Sox taking big money. Shit, really? Open up at minus 108, they're now minus 120. This total's gone from 10 to 10.5. So, if that's the case, are they taking big money on the first 5 as well? Not really. Nothing has changed first 5. So, the money that they're taking in is full game. Billy Friedrich going Bichette and Bogarts over at 1.5 total bases. Cuban Connect, Gold Cup, Mexico. Also, Guadalajara over 14 runs. Get it, Jimmy. It's Thursday. And that Gold Cup is Mexico, Canada, right? Because we beat Costa Rica. Interesting. I will study that a little bit. Eric Jones says Bo Sox haven't went over 9 in their last 6 games. Brian Watson says don't know about Ryu. Okay, let's break this down a little more. And there's Don Corleone in the spot. Dommy Gunn says, I hit both unders yesterday at Blue Jays, also 2 or 3 under versus Mets. These bats have not been producing. So let's go to baseball data. Against Ryu, the Red Sox are hitting just 233 with a 627 OPS. They're 20 for 86, but just 1 home run. Just 1 home run. Against Rodriguez, the Jays are hitting 277 with a 790 OPS. And Mal Walker, 3 up, 3 down. Interesting. Mike Kemp says Brewers will struggle to get past 4 runs, in my opinion, with Kuhn on the mound. I get it. And Pop Sports Radio, our man Jose says, I'm going to USA Qatar Gold Cup game tonight in Austin. Oh, wow. That's dope, man. Cuban Connect looking at Red Sox full game under. So we have seen this total go from 10 to 10.5. Let's see where the cash lies in this spot. We have 50% of the tickets and just 19% of the cash on the Jays. That's why there's a clear move to the Red Sox full game. On the total, we have 44% of the tickets on the under and 97% of the cash. Wow. Olu Falarian says, any hot weather games, wait for the arm to get tired, bet the over, and thank me later. Hot days overs. I have also thought that, Olu, but I found that White Sox Royals game very interesting because it didn't follow that pattern yesterday when it felt like 109, and I was expecting to see runs there. And I'm expecting to see runs there today. Yeah, that'll be fun, man. All right, so I'm on the Blue Jays first 5 at -105. The Rusty Kuntz play today's Jays team total over first 5 at 2.5 at -115. We have 2 games left on the card, and then we need to review everything. Let's move on to the next spot, 9:38 p.m. Eastern, Oakland Athletics at Los Angeles Angels, and we have supposedly had a pitching change for the Angels. Can I see if I can confirm that right now? Here, no, it's just off the board at Bet365. So let's see if we can get that here. And undecided and no line right now. Okay, so what we know is that Frankie Montas will be on the hill for the A's, and we're thinking that it will be Bundy for the Angels. So let's break this down a little bit. 80 Fahrenheit, mostly cloudy, 9 miles per hour to right center. Frankie Montas, 8-8, 4.34 ERA, 1.28 whip, 112 innings, 122 Ks, 30 walks, 16 homers. Last start, he went 6 innings. He'll have 4 hits, 3 earned runs, 2 homers, 1 walk, and 10 Ks in a 4-3 loss at the Mariners. The A's are hitting just 228, 683 OPS in their last 30 against righties. The Angels, 262, 752 OPS versus righties. Imagine what they would do if Trout was in that lineup. The A's bullpen is over 2 full runs better than the Angels bullpen over the last 30 days. Ramon Scott says, Jays arguably best in major statistically against left-handed batters, but have 11-16 record. That's because we don't have pitching. Cuban Connect says, A's going to smash tonight. Joshua Wilcox. Every time he loses, his mustache grows thicker. I love that. Okay, so we don't know who's pitching, but we think it could be Bundy. We don't have that confirmation. Why don't we just take a quick look at Bundy's season so far? And coming off the IL, let's go to Dylan Bundy. Here we go. Bundy with a 6.69 ERA. Wow. 5.53 FIP. 1.414 whip. Wow. So your FIP should be, somewhere around your ERA, an average ERA, and his FIP is at 5.53. Unbelievable. Let's see if we can get a quick game log from him. When was the last time we saw him? Let's go to a quick game log for Dylan Bundy. We saw him 9 days ago, so it's not an IL situation. He's just being benched. He has not started a game since June 28th. Wow. If Bundy comes in, Bundy's going to get touched. Cuban Connect says A's going to smash tonight. Billy Friedrich says this looks like A's all day. Is it a trap? Well, we have to wait and see who's pitching before we can decide any of that. Okay, we are going to move on to the final game on the card. 10:10 p.m. Eastern. Colorado Rockies 44-57, 11-37 on the road at San Diego Padres 59-45, 34-20 at home. We're at Petco Park in San Diego, California. 73 Fahrenheit, mostly cloudy, 8 miles per hour, sideways in. Ramon Scott, Bundy against the A's this year, 2 starts, going 2 1/3 innings, giving up 4 runs and 7 runs in those games. And impressive. Okay, let's go. Rockies, Padres. Kyle Freeland, 1-5, 4.85 ERA, 1.47 whip, 55 2/3, 42 Ks, 18 walks, 11 home runs. Last start was 7 innings. He'll have 5 hits, 1 earned run, a solo shot, no walk, 6 Ks, the 1-0 loss at the Dodgers. Joey Musgrove, 6-7, 3.13 ERA, 1.01 whip, 109 1/3, 123 Ks, 28 walks, and 13 home runs. In his last start, Musgrove went 6 innings, allowed 6 hits, 2 earned runs, 1 homer, 1 walk, 4 Ks, in a 5-2 win at the Marlins. Rockies versus righties last 30 days, 256, 733 OPS. Padres smashing righties over the last 30 days, 269, 802 OPS. Rockies bullpen is falling off again over the last 30 days, 5.16 ERA, 1.50 whip, have converted 5 of 10 save opportunities. Padres bullpen, 3.43 ERA, 1.35 whip, have converted 7 of 11 save opportunities. So let's go over to baseball data in this spot. Against Freeland, the Padres are hitting 291 with a 797 OPS. And against Musgrove, 242 with a 633 OPS. Musgrove has been good. I'd love to see the splits in this spot. Let's just take a look at where the odds are in it, and then let's move over to splits. This total was initially juiced to the over 4.5. It's now juiced to the under 4.5. Let's go to full game here. In the full game for Rockies, Padres, it was an 8.5 total. It's moved to 8. The Padres go from minus 245 to minus 262, a 17-cent move towards them. Where the cash lies, we have 3,417 tickets in, 76% of the tickets and 92% of the cash on the over. And yet it's moved down to 8. Then with the cash on the money line, 95% of the cash and 72% of the tickets on the Padres, and it's moved healthy in their direction. Fat betting, no run, first inning, San Diego versus Colorado. No discretion advised. It's time for the Padres to step up. Wow. So you have this huge favorite. You also have the game moving towards the under. Why do I have Padres versus lefties? That's my fault. Clearly, Kyle Freeland. Sorry, why do I have Padres versus righties? Kyle Freeland is a lefty. Let me see if I can pull this up on Fangraphs very quickly and see exactly what we're dealing with against lefties. My fault. Here we go. We're going to move over to batting. We're going to move to versus left-handed. And here we go. The Padres over the last 30 days versus lefties are hitting 252 with a 750 OPS. So they're not smashing lefties. Cuban Connect says Padres solo over 4.5 is the play. Rockies bullpen is Kaka. All right, and then I would like to go to splits in this spot. I would like to see the splits on both of these pitchers. All right, we're going to start with the splits on Freeland. Freeland on the road here and see what he has done on the road. Here we go, full splits. At home, 4.56 ERA. On the road, he's worse, 5.10 ERA. 0-3 in points rating, 284 off of him. And then let's see Musgrove's home. I mean, do you really want to take – you have to take the Padres on a run line. I don't really want to do that. And the Padres aren't smashing lefties. And I've lost 2 straight first 5 under 4.5s in this ballpark. When we go to splits for Musgrove, we have Musgrove at home with a 2.83 ERA, opponents hitting 207 against them. Ramon Scott Freeland starts 2-9 to the under this season, including 1-5 on the road, despite his 5.10 ERA with a 1.46 road whip. I mean, I can expect a good start. Let's go back to the baseball data. Who hits Freeland? Tatis 5 for 15 with 2 doubles and a homer. Pham 5 for 13. Machado 8 for 23 with 4 doubles. 39 for 134. Who doesn't hit him? Hosmer 3 for 16. Myers 8 for 25. Well, that's hitting him. Yeah, I don't know if I can trust it. No discretion advised is over. First 5 over. Full game score fest. Okay, so if I wanted the Padres first 5, I would have to take them on the -1 line, and the Padres just aren't hitting lefties hard enough. If they're not hitting lefties, can I trust that this game goes under 4.5? I guess it would be better to focus on the team total. If this full game has gone from 8.5 to 8, and we have the first 5 has not moved from 4.5 to 4. Okay. And then we have 92% of the money on the over. Hard to make a move on it. All right, let's review all of the action here on today's card. Game 2. I'll be very curious in the double dip with Nationals Philly. I'll be very curious to see what the Nationals lineup is. And I'll be curious to study who the Philly starter is a little more because they're not using Vince Velasquez. Braves Mets is underway. I am going to add the Tampa Bay Rays to my action here. I'm going to add the Rays to my action. Gambler's First Glance is on Tampa Bay money line, and I get it. In the White Sox-Royals game, it was my intention to bet the over in the White Sox and to fade Carlos Hernandez. And I still want to do it. But I find the market move towards the under tricky. And I guess the move would have to be the White Sox first 5 -1, and then I need them to win by 2 runs to cash. I don't know if that's going to work. Thank you, No Discretion Advised. Great stuff having you in the chat. You being very helpful. Jay Scum says only 2 plays for me: Yanks, Rays under 7.5, and Tigers money line. So maybe I just have to stay away from this game. I might have to. Then I am going to move on the first 5 under 3.5 in Reds Cubs. Jose Seje play of the day's Reds first 5 -106. Then Sharpie is on David Price over 4.5. K's at -105. And I have interest in this first 5 over 4.5. I have interest in it. But that market, I have question marks beside it because of this market messing with me. Let's just see where it is right now again in that San Francisco Giants-Dodgers game. And the market's moved to the under. Pretty heavy at Pinnacle. There's Freddie Betts in the house. Great to see you, Freddie. All right, then we have the Taint play of the day on the Milwaukee Brewers full game run line at -115. And that was the spot that I wanted the under. But the market moving from 4 to 4.5 makes absolutely no sense to me. And I don't feel like I need to step up in front of this market. Then we have Orioles, Tigers. And the Tigers, as Dommy Gunn has said, has become a very public team. And Casey Mize, I question him right now. And Carlos Lewis taking the juicy -150 under 1/2 in the first inning at Wrigley. Mally Mal says, fade the market move. I don't know if I can. And now Flush Allen says, Jimmy, it's the same Bundy you used to bet on with the Orioles. Then we have the only bet I've already made. Toronto Blue Jays first 5. It correlates with the Rusty Kuntz play today. Jays team total over. And then we're going to find out who's pitching for the Angels and possibly back the A's, although they haven't been hitting righties. And that was not a righty they smashed yesterday. And then Rockies Padres is a tricky spot where we have all this cash coming in on the over and it's moving to the under. And I would prefer everything to correlate. So if that means I only have 3 bets tonight, then I only have 3 fucking bets tonight. And then it's going to be fucking boring. But I can't just reach and make plays for no reason because we're having a good season. 41 games over 500, 228 wins, 187 losses, 54.9%, plus 16.99 units, ROI plus 4.09%, average line -112. Cuban Connect says last 2 Brewers game went over 8. They did, but that first one, when they pulled Tyler Anderson, there were 8 runs in the first 2 innings and then no scoring. The Brewers bullpen is very good. And TC says going to be lots of runs at Wrigley today. Wow. I don't see it when the wind is 15 miles per hour moving in. I don't see it. But look, the market feels that way too. The market has made surprising moves here on that Wrigley spot. Oh, wow. The over's come back. Wow. So a big move. Wow. A big move. So let's just go over this. So when we started the show, we talked and we had Jose on. The first 5 and the Reds Cubs was at 3.5. And it was juiced heavy. It was -21. And I said, wow. I said to Jose, I was like, look, you can get a plus line on the under. And he said, Pinnacle is plus 105. Bet365 is plus 100. Then just minutes after that, 11:30 a.m., it goes up to 4. It lasts at 4 for 14 minutes and then goes back to 3.5. But the over at that point was still juiced to -120. And then at 11:59 a.m., it goes back to 4. And then it would last there for a minute. So then at that point, the over is at -116 and it just gets bet down. It gets bet down, and it's now sitting at -109. But it went all the way down to -106. Not Flush Allen says, don't overthink it. Padres team total over. They haven't been hitting lefties that hard, but I get it. All right. So in review one more time, it looks like at this point, the only action I will have are the Rays. The first 5 under 3.5 in Reds, Cubs, and the Blue Jays. But I'm going to keep studying this card because there are many, many moving parts. Dommy Gun says Mets making Smiley work. 27 pitches already top of first. And Cubic Connect loving those over 7.5. There you have it. Thursday's in the books. Taint is the Brewers on the run line. Dirty K is Price over 4.5 Ks. That's Dirty K. Rusty Kuntz is Jay's first 5 team total over 2.5. And Jose Seje play of the day is the Cincinnati Reds. Wild, wild Thursday of market moves and discussions. And we get right back at it tomorrow, Friday, 11 a.m. Eastern. We have no show without all you guys in the chat and our great guests. Sharpie's Money in the Bank, our producer on the ones and twos, Jose. But we have no show without you guys. Kev Riley says, I'm at work, lunch break. Thought I would watch your show. Have a good day, Jimmy. Kev, thank you for sharing your lunch with us. Thank you, North Ender. It's the only way we've got that success at this point. Billy Friedrich says trade deadline together. Cuban Connect on Yanks solo over. Mikey M, Dommy Gun, Sammy Culmer, Nutflush Allen, Billy Friedrich, Freddie Betts, Brian Watson, TC, Carlos Luders, Jace Gum, no discretion advised. Thank you guys all so much for your support. We have, after yesterday's 4-4 day, but down 0.65 units. It was the second day since the second half, since the All-Star break that we've been down units on a day here on the show. We're running hot. We're just a little over a unit from our high water mark, and I want to get there tomorrow. On behalf of everybody at Pub Sports Radio, let's get this fucking cash. Let's get paid today. I will see you guys tomorrow, Friday, 11 a.m. Eastern. But most importantly, Leche, hey, los bookmakers!